Hello friends, my name is Andrea and I go by Drea on most of my social media accounts. These are all of them. You can go follow me on there. There's a lot more information about my story and about my life on there, so you guys can go check that out if you are feeling up to it. So today we're going to be talking about the process of getting my loose skin removed after losing 100 pounds. I have a lot of information, but also remember that this is my own experience and it could be different for you. I'm just going to get started with my background story. So in 2018, I decided that I wanted to start losing weight. I started at 246 pounds and I consulted with my doctor about this, that I was deciding to start losing weight. When I started losing weight, I was 17 years old, and so I was still with my pediatrician, and she wanted to do monthly weight check-ins with me so that we could just keep progress of everything. And before this, honestly, I didn't have any plans of getting my loose skin removed. I didn't see that being possible just because of pricing and everything. So my main goal that year was just to lose weight. So when I was losing weight that year in 2018, I was 246 pounds, like I said, and I did a calorie deficit. And in that 1 year, I lost over 100 pounds. Once it was now January 2019, it had been a year since I started my weight loss journey and I was 100 pounds down, and then it was just a goal to maintain it, and I maintained it for around 2 years. At that point, it was now 2021. I was about to be 21 years old, and I had saw that I was starting to save up a lot of money, and I wanted to take a chance and go see how much it would be to get my loose skin removed. But at first, it can be a little confusing. Also, being very young, I was really lost. So the first thing I did was kind of ask around. I knew some people that had already lost a lot of weight and did decide to get their loose skin removed at the same age I did. So I asked about their doctors, and I knew that the first thing I wanted to do was make an appointment with my pediatrician that I had lost weight with. I made an appointment with my pediatrician and I went in and I discussed my concerns about my loose skin. And since we had a log of all the weight that I had lost and a log of me maintaining it, this made it a little bit easier because I just had proof that I was maintaining everything. I'll put up a little picture here of some examples of that, but we logged my weight every single time. So it showed that I lost this weight in a good amount of time and also had been maintaining it for 2 years since it was now 2021. She offered to write a letter, obviously, for my surgeon and my insurance if I decided to proceed and go find a surgeon to remove my loose skin, and that was just the next step, was finding a surgeon. One tip I do have to say is that finding a surgeon that you are comfortable with is so important. A surgeon that has a lot of recommendations, good reviews. You want to do your research and make sure you are getting what you want for your money, because it is just a big life change. Getting your loose skin removed, getting a big part of your body removed is always super serious, so you want to do as much research as you can. My pediatrician offered some surgeons to me. I did some research on those, and then I did end up finding my own surgeon that I wanted to go with. So that next step was making a consultation with him. I made a consultation with the surgeon I was going with, and once I had my appointment, I went to his office. He examined my loose skin. He asked me a lot of questions because if you do want your insurance partially to cover your surgery, there is going to be a lot of steps, and it is different with every insurance company. So I have Aetna. I'm underneath my parents. I am still 21 at the time, and now I am 22. And insurances just want to make sure you have all those health risks out of the way, and they want to make sure you are a candidate that they can take a risk on. So these are a couple of the things I had to show and do to get my insurance partially covered. So with that being said, this is what made the process for me to get my surgery very quickly. I got my consultation in March and I was able to set an appointment to get my surgery done in June. So it was a really fast process. Honestly, I could have booked it a little bit further out just so I could have been more mentally prepared, but obviously I was just super excited. That was something I've been dreaming for and didn't think would ever get to do, so I booked it pretty quickly. And since my insurance was going to cover a good majority of it, I only had to pay $3,000 out of pocket. That seems very low, I know, but since I was a candidate for getting it covered, I didn't have to pay that much. I just had to pay for the cosmetic parts, and we'll go into a little bit of that with some questions I'm going to be answering that are from you guys about my surgery. I'm going to put the questions right here, and we're going to start with our first one. How did your insurance cover part of your procedure? So like I said in a little bit of the beginning, I had to show a lot of things like this, and I'll put another picture of what I had to show and prove, and that's how I was able to get my insurance to cover majority of it. They saw it as something that was interfering with my daily life, so that is kind of why they helped cover it. I'm not really sure like all the ins and outs of insurance. I know it can be super tricky and confusing, and it's a really annoying process. I had to get a letter written by my pediatrician and also my surgeon saying that the loose skin looked low enough and had all these different problems that I could get it removed, and also that I kept it off long enough. So like I said, I'll put that up there of like what I had to get done. But that is how I got insurance to cover part of my procedure. Okay, next question. How long is recovery, and would you ever get the surgery again? Okay, so I'm going to say this up front. Recovery is different for everyone because we do all have different bodies. We all have different pain tolerances and stuff like that. So my recovery, I'd say fully took about 6 months, and I'll say that because we are cleared to work out and do other things around 4 to 6 weeks, like lifting and all that, because you do most of the time get a muscle repair because your abdomen starts to separate its muscles during a time where you had been bigger. It stretches out your muscles. So I had a muscle repair, a tummy tuck, a appendectomy, and got my belly button reconstructed. So that full recovery, I'd say, took 6 months, but I honestly felt fully healed around the 1 year mark. It's not that you can't live a normal life beforehand, but there are still different things that are going on with your body. And I am 1 year and 3 months post-op right now. And I'd say for a full recovery, it'd probably be around 1 year. And to feel kind of normal again, it felt like it took around 3 months to feel completely normal again. But I was up and doing things around the 4 to 6 week mark when I was clear to do so. And also, I would do this surgery again in a heartbeat if I didn't already have it. I think it was completely worth it, and I thought that it taught me a lot of mental toughness, to be honest. Third question, how long did the surgery last, and any complications? Did they have to knock you out? So yes, you go under anesthesia for the surgery. It's a very invasive surgery. Like I said, I had the tummy tuck, the appendectomy, the muscle repair, and the belly button reconstruction. There was no complications for me. I was nervous, of course, beforehand. It's a very invasive surgery, and I feel like anytime someone's going into a very invasive surgery, they're going to be nervous, but there was no complications. And I'm kind of unsure how long it lasted. I was very out of it when I woke up, so we'll go more into that. But yeah, I'm not exactly sure how long the surgery lasted. I think it was only around 2 hours, but I could be wrong. So was it worth it, especially the out-of-pocket price? So I only had to pay $3K out of pocket, and because the insurance paid most of it, I only had to pay $3K for the cosmetic part of it. And I think it was worth it completely, especially because I had insurance covered a lot. I did not expect that I was only going to have to pay $3K. I was going in with the mindset of I'm going to have to pay more. So I think it was completely worth it in my case, but I also am in a lot of tummy tuck groups that are on Facebook, and I feel like this is very helpful too. If you are going to get the surgery, following those tummy tuck groups on Facebook, they have a bunch, and you can hear everyone's experiences. People that pay a lot out of pocket still say that it was like one of the best decisions of their life because they do feel a lot more comfortable. So I think it was worth it for me. Did the doctor offer a discount at all to post about your loose skin removal? No. I did not tell my surgeon or pediatrician that I was really doing social media. Honestly, I kind of wanted to keep it under wraps with like my doctors and stuff because I wanted to be taken seriously. I am younger, and I felt like if I had talked about that, maybe I wouldn't have been taken super seriously. So I did not get a discount for that. But I know a lot of people do if they do social media with weight loss and stuff, but I personally did not. Next question. What would happen if you gained some weight after the skin removal? So I see on a lot of the Facebook pages that when you gain weight after loose skin removal, it starts to go into different areas. Instead of your stomach, it goes to your legs, goes to your arms. So I've heard of that. Personally, I haven't seen a lot of difference if I were to gain weight in my stomach area. I think it looks the same. And honestly, it just kind of keeps me accountable to maintain my weight, maintain a healthy lifestyle, not be like so hard on myself, because I was in the beginning of my surgery. I was very nervous, just all the feelings of what if I gain my weight back and all of that. But I think that having a negative mindset like that can only set you back further. So just trying to have a positive mindset through it all, I think that helps the most. But that's what I've heard, gaining weight after loose skin removal, that it can go in different areas instead of your stomach. Would you rank the loose skin removal one of the most nerve-wracking things so far in your life? Yes, I think I was very anxious and nervous before my loose skin removal. I cried a lot the night before because I was just very nervous of going under. Like I said, it's a very invasive surgery, and anytime you're going into a surgery, it's a risk, I feel like, personally. And I do think it was one of the most nerve-wracking things, because I was also scared about how my body would look after. I was scared how it would affect my running. And if you guys follow my journey, I lost a lot of my weight by running. And I just think that I was really scared to lose progress in a lot of those areas. But honestly, it has just taught me so much after getting my loose skin removed and where I'm at now. So I do think it was one of the most nerve-wracking things of my life, but I do not regret it. Okay. This next question is asked constantly. Can you have loose skin removal if you plan on having kids later? Yes, you can. So this was a question I asked when I went to my surgeon. Also, just make sure you have a list of questions for your surgeon, a list of questions for your doctor, just a bunch of questions just to be prepared. I can even make a video if you guys want of questions you should ask your surgeon before getting this type of surgery. But you can have kids after getting your loose skin removed. And honestly, my doctor said that it would help me for my next pregnancies, because I got a muscle repair. When I was 246 pounds, my abdomen was very separated because of having my skin super stretched out. So yes, you can, and it will not really derail your tummy tuck. And honestly, I do think this is a question you want to be careful asking people, because some people plan to not have kids. Some people plan to just have a different path with their tummy tuck. And honestly, not everyone decides to have kids. So you can have kids after having loose skin removal. I know this is something that a lot of people don't think you can do, but you can, and it is still safe, and your cosmetic outcome won't really look that different. So I felt like this was a best decision for me, and I am still young, and this is what I wanted to do with my life. So I think that doing this now makes me very happy, and when I have loose skin from kids, that'll be a different story. I got that loose skin and those stretch marks from bringing a life into this world, is how I would look at it. But since my loose skin came from a very dark time in my life of binge eating and being overweight, and I was just very depressed, and I think that's why I really wanted to get rid of it too, because it just had a lot of bad things connected to it mentally for me. Do you have any plans for your scar? So if you don't know what a tummy tuck scar looks like, I'll put a photo right here. And I don't have any plans for my scar. I don't plan to get it tattooed. I didn't buy a bunch of creams. I just did normal things like put some oils on it and stuff, just for the healing process, honestly, and just to semi-lighten it up, because there were scabs on it at one point and all of that. But personally, I think that the scar looks better than my loose skin for me, and I'm not insecure by the scar, and it is very well hidden by my underwear. So I don't think many people will ever see that scar ever, unless I'm showing you guys for medical reasons. And I love my scar. And I know a lot of people do have a hard time with certain scars, but I think it just shows a lot about my journey and all the things I've been through, so I do not have any future plans for my scar. What all did you get done, and what all did insurance cover? So I got done a paniculectomy. This is the hanging loose skin that hangs down where you would usually have your loose skin. I'll show a picture right here. But that is what got covered by insurance, the paniculectomy. and what I had to pay for cosmetically was the belly button reconstruction and the muscle repair, and that was $3K. So I'll show you the receipt right here and what everything kind of looked like, but I only had to pay $3K out of pocket for that, and insurance really covered everything else, like being in the hospital, the paniculectomy, the hanging loose skin. So that's basically what everything got covered and what I had to pay for out of pockets. Next question, personal. Were you ever insecure about your body while being in a intimate relationship? So I don't really want to go into like intimacy with my relationship because that's private and there are things I don't do. So with my relationship, my boyfriend had known me since 2016. He saw me when I was bigger, he saw me after I lost weight, and he saw me before my loose skin removal. I've been in bathing suits before and stuff, so obviously he's seen what my loose skin looked like. So I didn't feel insecure about being in a relationship just because I had someone who was accepting of that. And I feel like that's very important to have in a relationship, someone who's accepting of you in every aspect of your journey with life and also with just your physical appearance. I would hope that my boyfriend wouldn't judge me based off what I look like and what things that I couldn't control. Like loose skin was something I couldn't control, and I would hope and pray that he would never judge me for that, and he didn't. He was with me after my loose skin removal. He really guided me through that. He was a big support system for me. So I personally wasn't insecure about that, and I'm very blessed to be like that or have that type of relationship. So, but if you are struggling with that type of relationship, never feel scared to message me. I would love to have a discussion with you about that. So yeah, so we will make a part 2, but I'm going to answer 2 more questions. Do you have to wear blood bags? Okay, so I didn't have to wear blood bags, but I wore a tube that collected the liquid after my surgery. So the liquid from my surgery was just excess liquid from being cut into. This is just getting all those liquids out post-surgery. I'm not even exactly sure what it all takes out, so I'll put a little thing of what it does and what it looks like, what it looked like on me. But I had those that tube in for about, I would say 4 to 6 weeks, and then they do the removal, and the removal did not hurt. I know some people are very scared of getting their tubes removed. I know there are tubeless surgeries too, so you can look into that. There are so many things about loose skin, but I'll definitely go on to that on a different day. But I did have to wear the tubes. That just helps get rid of the excess stuff after surgery, but I also will put an actual definition up there of what it does. But I did have to wear those, and I had to empty it. So I had this little circle, and it was like a little pouch, and I would squeeze it, and then I would connect it to my little tube thing because I would have to drain it as well. And you also have to put it in this little medical cup for them so that they can track the process of how red it is and to when it goes clear. Because at first it is this very bright red color, obviously, and then it starts to turn into a clear-ish yellow liquid color. So I did have to wear those. I only had to wear them for about 4 to 6 weeks. And then after you get those out, if you do not have a tubeless surgery, I don't think many people have tubeless surgeries, but after you get those taken out, your recovery starts going like that. So you start to recover a lot, and it makes the process of recovering a lot easier. Is recovery painful? Yes. I don't want to sugarcoat it. It was painful. When I first got out of the hospital, even driving back home, any type of bumps, it was the most excruciating pain I'd ever felt. If I have to explain what hurts the most, it is the muscle repair. The incision itself didn't really hurt. It does get very itchy, but it did not hurt as much as my muscle repair did. I could not cough, laugh, sneeze without feeling like I had just done like 50,000 sit-ups and then got punched in the stomach 2 times. You do obviously get medication for that to help the pain, but it is very painful. I have to say that. I know some people don't experience as much pain. Maybe I'm a baby, but it is a very painful recovery. And also you are hunched over for a lot of it. Well, in the beginning, a lot of that part is hunched over because you were taken and pulled down, and now you are coming out of the hospital hunched. Getting into the car after the hospital was probably one of the funniest but most painful experiences ever. I remember waking up after surgery and I was like, like, I could not breathe because it was like so painful for that time being. But the pain starts to go away, and honestly, when I had gotten my surgery done in June, by like the middle of July, I was running like 3 miles. So I didn't have that pain for too long, but I think this does also have to do with the fact that I was being active before my surgery. So just making sure that you're staying active before your surgery, and that like you are stretching a lot, just doing a lot of like things that will help your body for post recovery. And like I said, there are so many things that I could say about this surgery, so we will definitely make a second video. But yes, recovery is painful, but I would say that the pain mostly went away by mid-August because I had went to a summer camp that I was being a leader for, and I was still able to go around. I would get out of breath sometimes because of just being winded from not being as active as I was before surgery, but it is a painful recovery, but it doesn't last forever. So just remember that if you are coming out of a loose skin removal surgery. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This has been my first upload on YouTube, so please be nice to me, and I can't wait to come for part 2 and share so much with you guys. If you have any questions about this surgery and things I want to talk about for this surgery, please leave them in the comments below, and I can't wait to answer. Also, remember to subscribe to me, put on those post notifications, and also here are my other socials to follow up on my life and just see more of my personality and who I am. Love you guys so much, and I can't wait to come for part 2 and some more of answering your questions. Bye.